You've probably noticed something incredibly frustrating about money lately. Your paycheck does the exact same thing it has always done. You put in the hours, you get the deposit. But somehow, groceries cost 40% more than they did just 3 or 4 years ago. Your rent went up, your car insurance skyrocketed, and your utility bills are creeping higher for absolutely no real reason. And the only people who seem genuinely calm about any of this are the ones who already have money. Look, that's not paranoia, that is just math. The harsh reality of our current economy is this: having one income today is like having only one set of car keys. It works perfectly fine, right up until the day it doesn't. And when you lose that one key, you are completely locked out of your own life. My guess is if you clicked on this video, you are probably somewhere between your early 30s and your late 40s. You have a job, probably a decent one, you've got rent or a mortgage, you might have a partner, maybe a couple of kids, or aging parents you need to help out. You are not flat broke, but you aren't really building wealth either. By the end of the month, the math just kind of disappears. Because of this, you've thought about doing something on the side. Of course you have. But every time you try to look into building a second income, one of 3 things happens. First, the side hustle requires a skill you simply do not have the time to learn. Second, it requires capital that you absolutely cannot afford to risk. Or third, and this is the most common one, it requires you to become a highly caffeinated 23-year-old extrovert dancing in front of a ring light. And for most of us, the answer is a hard no thank you. So you close the tab, you promise yourself you'll figure it out next year, and next year you do the exact same thing. Sound familiar? I'm not judging you because I did the exact same thing for years. Almost all side hustle advice on the internet is written for a completely different demographic. But today we are going to talk about a model designed specifically for busy adults. Let's do a quick reality check on the opportunities we are constantly pitched online. Freelancing, that's just a second job. You are trading more of your already limited time for a bit of cash. Dropshipping, you need serious capital to test ads and you're competing with massive overseas manufacturers. Day trading, that's basically a casino with extra steps and fancy charts. Driving for DoorDash or Uber, you are literally trading the depreciation of your vehicle and your free time for pocket change. And building a personal brand, being an influencer, when you're an adult with a professional career, a family, and a mortgage, putting your face on camera and trying to go viral isn't a side hustle, it's a personality transplant. Every single one of these options asks you to become a completely different person before it pays you a dime. But what if you didn't have to change who you are? What if you could just stay exactly who you are after work, pour yourself a cup of coffee, and build something quiet on the side? There is one model that almost everyone in our age bracket overlooks. The name of it sounds a little weird at first, but stick with me. It's called faceless YouTube channels. A faceless channel is exactly what it sounds like. It is a YouTube channel that produces highly engaging videos without anyone ever appearing on camera. There is no face, there is no live speaker, there is no personal brand or ego attached to it. These videos cover topics that people are already searching for every single day. Things like history, personal finance, psychology, true crime, technology, or travel. They get views the exact same way any other YouTube video gets views. And the most important part? The platform pays the channel owner for the ads that run on those views. That is the entire mechanism. You find a topic, you make a video, it gets views, and you generate income. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that sounds great, but I don't know how to edit videos, I don't know how to write a script, and I definitely don't have a professional recording studio for voiceovers. And if we were having this conversation 3 years ago, you would be 100% correct to walk away. But the timing right now is what makes this the biggest opportunity on the internet. In the last 18 months, artificial intelligence has quietly revolutionized what one single person sitting at a kitchen table can produce after the kids go to bed. AI tools have taken what used to be the hardest, most expensive parts of video production, the script writing, the voiceover, the visual generation, and the editing, and made them dramatically easier. I want to be completely honest with you. It is not push a button and get rich easy. Anyone who tells you that is lying. But it is easier in a way that simply did not exist a few years ago. Work that used to require a team of 5 people and a massive budget can now be assembled by one focused person in a few hours a week. Now, let's deal with the 3 things you are actually thinking right now. Not the polite questions, the real ones. First, you're thinking this sounds like a scam. That instinct is incredibly healthy. It's the same instinct that has protected you from 100 bad pitches before this one. But here's the reframe. This isn't working because of magic or a secret glitch. It's working because YouTube already pays billions of dollars for attention. That has been their published, verified business model for nearly 2 decades. The only question has always been, who captures that attention and gets paid? Historically, it was a small handful of charismatic, on-camera creators. Now, thanks to AI tools, that group has expanded to include people like us. People who just want to research topics, assemble good content, and operate quietly in the background. There is a whole layer of people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s running channels you have never heard of, simply depositing checks. The loudest people online usually have the worst businesses. The quietest ones are the ones who actually figured it out.
Second, you might be thinking, I don't understand the YouTube algorithm. I'm not technical. Here is the beauty of this system. You don't need to understand YouTube the way a traditional creator does. You aren't trying to be an artist. You are following a proven framework. If you can follow a recipe to bake a cake, you can build a faceless channel. I mean that literally. The skill set required is much closer to following a step-by-step instruction manual than it is to being a tech genius or a Hollywood director. The framework is already there. You just have to execute the steps. Finally, the biggest concern for most adults. I'm too late. The boat has sailed. This market is saturated. Let me give you some data. More video content is being consumed this year than last year. Demand is going up, not down. There is more room, not less. And here is the part that matters specifically to you. The people winning in the faceless YouTube space are not teenagers. Teenagers are on TikTok looking for fast dopamine hits. The people building real, sustainable businesses on YouTube are our age. Why? Because they're patient, they're consistent. They don't chase viral trends, they build digital assets. That temperament, the ability to show up and do the boring work consistently, is the exact temperament you have already developed by being a functioning adult with real-world responsibilities. You are not late. If anything, you're right on time. Before we wrap this up, I need to be brutally honest with you about the timeline. Most of the marketing you see around making money online lies about this. This is not instant. You will not make money in your first week. You probably won't make money in your first month. The first stretch of this journey is the quiet stretch. It's a period where you are building, publishing, learning the tools, and not yet getting paid. That is completely normal. That is how every real digital asset in the world is built. It also doesn't work for everyone. The people who quit at week 6 don't see this work. The people who half pay attention and skip steps don't see this work. But here is the flip side. Once it does work, once you have a few videos that catch traction, it compounds in a way that almost nothing else in your financial life ever will. The videos keep working while you sleep. The channel keeps growing on its own momentum. Over time, your income line keeps moving up, while your workload stays roughly flat. If you're used to only ever trading your time for an hourly wage or salary, this compounding effect is hard to comprehend at first. But once you experience it, it changes everything. So here's where we land today. I know there's a massive gap between understanding this concept right now and actually knowing what steps to take when you wake up on Monday morning. That gap is where 99% of people quietly give up. To close that gap, you need a playbook. You need to know what tools to use, how to identify profitable niches, how to write the prompts that generate good scripts, and how to assemble the video from start to finish. You can figure this out on your own. Plenty of people have. But if you want a shortcut, you have to start treating your single income as the massive financial risk that it actually is. Stop scrolling past the problem. You don't have to become an influencer. You don't have to buy expensive camera gear. You just have to be willing to sit down, learn a few AI tools, and start building your safety net quietly in the background. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, hit the subscribe button. Take your income seriously and go figure out your second one. I'll see you in the next video.